Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Yaji, like yay G, and my channel is all about saving money while traveling because let's be real, traveling can get expensive. And if we don't have to spend any money because we're using points and miles, why would we spend money on travel, right? So if that sounds interesting to you, let's be internet besties and consider subscribing below. And let's get into today's video. Today I wanted to talk about the new Chase Sapphire Reserve, or like the refresh, I should say. I have a review of all the Chase trifectas, and I'll link that video up above if you're interested in the old video and what my thoughts are on the other Chase cards. But today I wanted to specifically talk about the Sapphire Reserve. So the new Reserve, they bumped up the annual fee, and now it's $795 for this card. $795. That is crazy. That's even more expensive than the current Amex Platinum. Although there's a rumor that's going around that says that the Platinum is also going to increase in annual fee. So all these credit card companies, man, they're just upping their annual fees. And I get it that, they're giving you like free credits. But if you're not using those credits, then these cards are really not worth it. So with this new Chase card, there are things that I am excited about and there are things that I'm not really excited about, and let's get into it. So the Sapphire Reserve card right now, the welcome bonus is 100,000 points and they give you $500 to spend on Chase travel. One thing you got to remember of this $500 credit is that you need to hit the welcome bonus first, and that's $5,000 that you need to spend in order to get the 100,000 points. Then they'll give you the $500 credit. So then you can spend the extra $500, or if your travel is $600, then you'd be spending $600, getting $500 back, but you'd still be spending that $100 out of pocket. So it's not part of the welcome bonus spend, unfortunately. So it's not like they deduct to like 4,500. No, I wish they did that, but unfortunately it's not the case. Now let's look at the multipliers. The new multipliers are that you get 8x on purchases through Chase Travel, you get 4x on flights if you book directly with the airline, 4x on hotels if you book directly with the hotel, 3x on dining, and 1x on all other purchases. And right away, I'm not a big fan. And the reason is they got rid of 3x on like general travel. So there's no general travel anymore. Meaning if it's just general travel like parking or tolls, it's just 1x, which is a bummer because this card was appealing to a lot of people because of that 3x on travel, but now it's not the case. And the 3x dining, sure, it's nice, but I mean, there's other cards that you can get better multipliers, like the Amex Gold is 4x. And if you're gonna get 3x, there's cheaper cards out there that you don't need to be spending $795 on the annual fee. Now they give you 4x on hotels, but I feel like that's just not enough. Like if you're spending money to stay at a hotel, I suggest getting like a hotel credit card because you get better multipliers by spending on that hotel credit card. Also, because you're booking directly with the hotel, you most likely are gonna get like free breakfast or like statuses or like stays tour statuses, things along those lines, because you're booking directly with a hotel. If you book with Chase, that's technically a third party. So you're not gonna get those benefits if you do have like status with a certain brand. Also, same thing kind of goes with the flight situation. Amex Platinum gives you 5x, so already you're getting one less multiplier by using the Chase card. And the thing about flights is you always want to book directly with the airline. At least in my experience, it's always just better to book with the airline because if there are delays or if there's issues at the airport, you can't just directly deal with the airline then and there. You have to call whoever you book the ticket with, in this case Chase, which is also a third party, and then you can figure out what your next steps are. So it's kind of annoying because the airline will always tell you, oh, go talk to whoever you booked from instead of directly helping you. So if I can help it, I book directly with the airline just because of all these issues, I mean, if nothing happens to you, then thank God, But if something does happen to you, then it's just really, really annoying. Not only do you have to deal with like, where is my suitcase? Like, where is my luggage? Is it coming to me if I get stuck somewhere at an airport? How long is it gonna take to get to me, type of thing? Second of all, how long is the delay, or can you even get on the next flight even, Whereas if you booked with the airline, you can go to customer service and hopefully they'll be able to sort you and help you through your next steps. But it's just annoying, right? So I always tell people, try to book directly with the airline. And another thing about booking through airlines, kind of side note, but you can get cash back if you book online. So some airlines, and I'm just picking random airline right now. Let's say Qatar Airways. Well, they'll give you back depending on the season, like 1x or 1.5x through Rakuten if you book online. So not only are you getting like cash back of the flight that you booked, but you also book directly with the airline. So if anything happens, you know, you can get help. So in my opinion, it's like, why would you book through a third party, you know? And moving on to 8x on Chase Travel. I do appreciate that the multiplier went up. So it went up from 3x on like general travel to 8x. But you have to book through the Chase portal, like the Chase Travel portal. So when they say like travel, it could mean like rental cars, cruises, even like vacation experiences, like you're touring somewhere in a city and you need a guide. Like all of this, if you booked through the Chase portal, then you will get 8x, which is nice, like I said. But I do miss the general 3x travel. Now let's talk about the credits, because the whole reason why the annual fees went up is because of the credits. They'll give you $300 on annual travel credit, and this is the same as the previous card. Before the refresh, they'll just give you $300 pretty much any travel, which is nice because then $300 is essentially like cash that you can use. It also gives you $500 credit for stays with the Edit, and the Edit is similar to like the Amex Fine Hotels, where you have to book through their portal in order to get the $500 credit, and the credit is broken up into two. So you would get $250 January through June and another $250 from July to December. And on top of that, it has to be 2-night minimum stays. So that's another thing that you need to think about. If you are traveling in a lot of nicer luxury type hotels and you frequent those hotels, maybe that $500 like they give you, you can take full advantage of. But if you're not staying at these like fancier hotels, because if you go on the Edit, the hotels are pretty fancy that they offer. And so if you're staying 2 nights at these hotels, generally speaking, you're gonna be spending more than $250. So yes, it's a nice credit that they would give you $250, but if a night costs like $1,000 and you're spending money in order to get that $250 credit, then I don't really know if it's worth it. I mean, like I said, if you're already like bougie like that and you stay in nicer hotels, then yes, it's a nice perk. But if you really have to like jump through hoops like that and, you know, split up your stays like $250 the first half of the year and another $250 the second half, that's just annoying. If they give you all $500 worth of credit all at once, like, okay, that's not too bad. But like $250 broken up, I don't know, I'm a little upset about that. They also give you like statuses, but I won't get into that because it's not actual credits, it's just status. And then you get lounge access on top of that as well. It gives you $120 for global entry or TSA and such, but that's every 4 years. So technically, you're only getting $30 a year by keeping this card. Other credits is that it's $300 dining credit, and that's also broken up, $150 January to June and another $150 July till December. And it's not any restaurant that you get credit. You have to book through the Sapphire Reserved exclusive tables. So only the restaurants that are on that list count. So I live in Dallas, or like north of Dallas. So for me, I literally have to drive close to like 40 minutes to go anywhere where the restaurants are located, which majority of the restaurants are downtown. And I don't go downtown often. So the question is, am I willing to drive 40 plus minutes to go downtown and eat at these restaurants? And yes, $150 is nice, but a lot of the restaurants, when you dine there, you're gonna be spending more than $150. Well, granted, depending on how many people you go with, but majority of the time, it's gonna be more expensive than $150. So once again, you're spending more to use the credits. So is that really worth it? Moving on, you get $250 in Apple TV and Apple Music subscriptions. That's a really nice perk. My husband really loves Ted Lasso. Technically, he only really loves the first season of Ted Lasso. He hates the second and third. But anyway, so for us, this is something nice to have, but it's not needed. You get $120 for DoorDash membership, which is also nice. If you do frequently use DoorDash, we don't really use DoorDash. We use Grubhub and Uber Eats more. But I guess if, you get that complimentary DoorDash option, then it's just something nice to have, and you can just branch out and, try something different. You also get $300 DoorDash promo, which is broken down to $25. And that $25 is also broken down again by $5 to spend monthly on restaurant orders, and you get two $10, so $20 to spend on groceries, retail orders, and etc. So Chase really is trying to get you to jump hoops. It's really not easy to be using these credits. I feel like they made it difficult so people forget to use the credits. And for Chase, it's better that way if people don't use all these credits, right? That's just the vibe I get with the new refresh. But moving on, you also get $300 in StubHub credits, and that's also broken down. So you get $150 from January to June, and then another $150 from July to December. If you go watch shows a lot or you go to games, then StubHub might come in handy. I mean, I know we will be getting the full $300 credit out of this because, we do frequent places. Now, they also give you $120 in Lyft credits, and you get 5 points for every dollar you spend on Lyft. And this is also broken down $10 monthly. Now, I don't really ride Lyft or Uber that much. I mean, we drive around majority of the time. And the only reason why I would Lyft or Uber is if I'm traveling, and if I'm traveling, I'm spending more than $10 for sure monthly. And it's not like I'm traveling every month that I need to be spending $10 on Lyft. So pretty much this Lyft credit for me is useless. And lastly, you get $120 in Peloton credits, and you get 10x points on any Peloton equipment or accessory that you purchase, and that's over $150. So this Peloton credit is also broken down to $10 per month, and we do have a Peloton tread, so we would take full advantage of this $120. But if you don't have a Peloton, then this credit is just useless, So I did the math for me personally, and for the first year of having this card, the very first year, I would be netting, meaning after I deduct the annual fee, I would still get back $1,505 in total in credits. And I'm also including the $500, which is part of the welcome bonus. So how I got to this number is I added up all the credits that I will be using. So I added up the $500 that you get part of the welcome bonus as well, added the $300 travel credit, I added up the $500 the edit hotel stay credit as well. I also added the $300 dining credit. I know I said I have to drive 40 plus minutes, but if it's just once every 6 months, I mean, I'll do it, We would also get value out of the $250 Apple TV credit, because like I said, there are some shows that my husband would love to watch on Apple TV. DoorDash membership and DoorDash promos really would do nothing for us, honestly, really not. So I've excluded this from my list. I would use the $300 StubHub credit. I would not use the $120 Lyft credit, but I would use the $120 Peloton credit. And I added $30 for TSA because it's every 4 years, so 120 divided by 4 is $30. If I add everything up, then for me, this card would be netting me $1,505. Now, that is just for the first year. Most likely after the first year, I would downgrade this card because the credits are not something that I use on a daily basis. The majority of the credits, I would have to go out of my way to use them. And to me, that's just not worth it. It's not worth for me to keep a $795 credit card just so that I can use the credits. It's just spending money when you don't need to spend money. So then you might be asking, well, then why are you getting the card to begin with? Well, Chase is really pushing hard, and they're giving you 100,000 welcome bonus points. They've only done 100,000 welcome bonus points on the Sapphire Reserve when they first launched the card, way back when they first launched the card. That's the only time they offered 100,000 points. Since then, majority of the time, they'd only give you 60,000 points as part of the welcome bonus. So in my opinion, in order to get the welcome bonus, plus the $500 credit, which is actually pretty good, so I would say get the card, use it up for the first year, and then downgrade the card, whether it's the Sapphire Preferred, or if you just want to downgrade it completely to the Freedom Flex or the Freedom Unlimited, it's up to you. And the good thing about Chase is that if one person in your family has an upper level card, so whether it's the Sapphire Reserve or the Sapphire Preferred, you can move points around in the family. So it's not like both you and your husband both need to have either the Sapphire Reserve or the Sapphire Preferred and spend annual fee that way. You really don't. Only one person needs it, and then you can just share the points. In my family, most likely I'll apply this card for my husband and he'll get the Chase Sapphire Preferred, right? Because of the bonus and everything like that. I'll downgrade my preferred card into a Freedom Unlimited. And after a year, we'll downgrade this reserve card to preferred. That way we kind of still have access to like Chase partners and stuff like that, but it would be like a much cheaper annual fee. And if you watch my other Chase video about the Chase trifecta, then you would know that I actually don't mind the preferred. I think with the annual fee and the $50 like hotel credit that you can get with Chase Travel, the annual fee comes down to $45. That's really not that bad. I don't mind paying $45, you know, to have access to the Chase like transfer partners. So I think that's gonna be kind of like our game, or like my husband's game moving forward. He'll get the Sapphire Reserve. After a year, we'll downgrade it. I'm still thinking on me, like, do I also need a Chase Sapphire Reserve card just to get the bonus and then also downgrade? I don't know, I'm still thinking about it. And the nice thing about the new refresh is that changed the rules up a little bit. So you can hold both the Chase Sapphire Reserve and the preferred at the same time, whereas before you couldn't. As long as you got the bonus 48 months and of course you're under 524, then you can get the bonus for the new Chase Sapphire Reserve. And for both my husband and I, it has been more than 48 months since we got a bonus. So technically we still can get both, but I'm just thinking about it because $5,000 is a lot of money to be spending on a card, you know? So if we both get it, that's $10,000 in 3 months. So, I mean, that's a lot of money. So maybe I'll like split it up. He can get his now, and then maybe like towards the end, like when the bonus is ending, maybe I'll open it then. I don't know. We'll see. But that is my take on the new Chase Sapphire Reserve. Like I said, I am glad that they upped the multiplier regarding the travel a little bit, but I'm upset about the fact that they got rid of like the 3x travel in general category. I don't know. What do you guys think? Are you going to open up this new card? Are you also planning on downgrading after a year? I'm interested to hear what other people are doing with their cards. And that was my review and my take on the new Chase Sapphire Reserve card, or technically the refresh. It's not new. They just refreshed the card. As always, I hope you guys found this video helpful and informative. If you have any questions and comments, please leave them down below. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing below. And I'll see you guys next time with a different video.